plant-based meat analogs are essentially trying to match the texture, the taste, the color of plant proteins, structured plant proteins, with that of various meats, whether coming from chicken or mutton or fish, right? So these are, if you look at plant proteins, plant proteins are what are called as globular proteins largely, right? If you heat them, they become like a dough, right, or a paste, right? In that sense, they are not structured, right? Whereas if you look at animal proteins, they are structured in the sense they are fibrous, right? They are called anisotropic structure because the structure in one direction is different from another direction, right? The cutting strength in one direction along the fiber or the grain is different from across, right? That's the characteristic of a animal meat. Whereas dal, if you take legumes, if you cook, they become mushy, right? That's not the case with animal proteins. So what we try to do when we want to try and make meat analogs with plant proteins is that we want to create this kind of anisotropic structure, right? And that is achieved by heating the protein. The heating up the protein opens up the protein, the balls to open up, right? And then we push them through an extruder. Let's say it's like a muruku, where that's the process of extrusion. You are taking a protein powder essentially, but extruding it through a small nozzle. Here, instead of a small nozzle, you have a longer extruder, right? That allows the structures to, the opened up plant structures to start aligning as they flow through a narrow orifice, right? And so this is done under heat so that the proteins are opening, and because it's a narrow, there is shear, they kind of start aligning together. The next task is to actually cool them down. So you heated them to about 100, 120 degrees, 130 degrees. When you cool them down, these layers will start then cross-linking with each other or binding to each other, right? And as they come together and aggregate, as it is called, they create these fibrous structures, right? The next task is to now create what kind of a product you want. You could create a whole meat kind of a product, which is you have chunks and you could put it into your biryani or make butter chicken with it or whatever, that kind of a recipe. But you could also mince it up and create products like nuggets or patties, cutlets or sausages. Plant-based proteins have a significantly lower environmental footprint in terms of land usage, in terms of water usage, in terms of greenhouse gases. That is sustainability, right? Second is from the perspective of animal ethics, right? As to this is kinder, milder, and so there are people who are concerned about animal ethics and how we treat animals. They are the ones who are subscribing to plant-based products and other alternative proteins. And the third is the perspective of health, which is driving that our industrialization of production of animal meat involves a lot of antibiotics, etc. And so there are concerns regarding that. And so people are saying, could this be a healthier option?